Okay, so I think we're gonna get started here. Majority of the people here might get some other people joining us. So thank you for coming, everybody. Today we have Tyler Trefiak of Coloplast speaking on the some ostomy, some Mio and concave ostomy advances and updates on the product line, and it's going to be a pretty open conversation. We have a smaller group, so it's going to make it easier to ask questions and go from there. So everybody's been here before. The washrooms are down the hall. If there's anything that you guys need, just please ask. I'll be here, and we have some staff over there too. To begin, Kenzie from Nurse Next Door is going to do a presentation just on their thing. They're helping to sponsor the lunch, so we're going to let her say a few words, and then off to Tyler.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. My name's Kenzie. I'm from Nurse Next Door. So like Darren said, we've sponsored some of the lunch today. So I just wanted to spend a few minutes talking about what we do and how you as healthcare professionals could potentially refer some clients to us. So Nurse Next Door, as you may or may not know, is a private home care company. We were founded in 2001 in Vancouver, and it's a franchise system with over 190 locations across North America, and we just launched in Australia this last year too. Our location has been in operation for almost 10 years, with our 10-year anniversary coming up next month. And we have the ability to care all over Alberta, including any rural areas. Nurse Next Door has the ability to provide care to all clients, from newborn babies to children who have disabilities, to older adults who are recovering from surgery, to seniors trying to age gracefully, as well as end of life and palliative care. We're also able to provide a variety of care, from basic companionship to support with activities of daily living like personal care, wound care, as well as palliative care. As I said, we have the ability to care anywhere, whether it's in their home, in a facility, or out in the community. Each client, as we know, is completely different, so we tailor our care plans to meet the needs of our clients. And we focus on happier aging, which is a concept that we pride ourselves on finding something that the client used to love doing that they no longer can do, and we implement those things into the care plan as well. We have many contracts that allow our clients to be fully funded for these services. So some of the contracts we have include the Workers' Compensation Board, FSCD, so Family Support for Children who have disabilities. We've worked with PDD before, so persons with developmental disabilities, Alberta Health Services Self-Managed Care, as well as the Veterans Affair. If a client is not eligible for funding, we work within their budget to make their care work based on the needs that they have. So if you have a client that needs services now or see referring to us in the future, I have left some information just at the check-in desk. There's some feedback. At the check-in desk, I'm going to put that down. Okay, I've left some information at the check-in desk. So there's care information packages, brochures, as well as my business card. So you could reach out to me directly if you have any questions or want some more information. Once a client has been referred to us, we would go to their home and provide a complimentary caring consult, which is where we determine what the client's needs are, figure out a schedule, find those one or two things that would make them happier during their visits, as well as find the perfect match. So with over 400 staff in our list, we have the ability to find the right match and really build a great relationship with our caregiver and your clients. We're also accessible 24/7, 365 days of the year, with the ability to care 24/7, 365 as well. And that's all I had. So thank you so much for your time. And our office is actually just right next door. So if you have any questions after your lunch, you can come over and have a chat. Thank you so much. Enjoy your lunch.
Hello? Yeah. Well, I'm just going to pin this on, see if I can. Let me see where I can get this on here. How do you recommend putting this on, Darren? Just like through here? Oh. Somewhere up here, maybe? Let's do. Yeah. Can anybody hear me? Oh, wait. That's. Can everybody hear me? I sound okay? Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Good. Thanks very much for coming out today. I know for those of you that haven't met me or don't know who I am, my name's Tyler Trefiak. I'm your Coloplast ostomy and continence rep for Alberta, for AHS, and for all of the dealers like Healthcare Solutions who so graciously put this event on today. So thanks very much for Healthcare for doing this. If you have any questions while I'm doing my presentation, feel free to stop me at any time. Just put up your hand, whatever, and I'll stop. Okay. I think what I'll do first of all is I want to talk a little bit about kind of where we are right now with ostomy, you know, and the innovation that's occurred, and then what's just recently occurred, okay, and what's the exciting thing to deal with outward body profiles, okay. So you're going to see some new stuff today that you haven't probably seen before, and maybe even a year ago, maybe some of the stuff that I have, you even haven't even seen that yet. So it's going to be, I think, exciting today to talk to you guys about that. Where I think we'll start is just showing you guys. I'm going to pass around a Censura Mio little box here, okay? You're going to have an opportunity just to take a look at the two different types of systems. One's called Censura Flex. That's this one right here, okay? All right, I'm giving a two-piece. We make them in one piece, closed, drainable, midi, maxi, transparent, opaque. We just don't make pink. We don't make pink and purple colors yet, but maybe someday we'll do that. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Censura Mio. The word Mio, it means my, okay? And the whole thing that I'm really talking about today is going to be called body fit technology, okay? Everything's about trying to fit that ostomy patient better, okay? And body fit technology is going to achieve that, all right? It's going to help with that. So whenever you think of anything I'm talking about today, think of body fit, okay? Body fit technology. You're going to see two different types of systems, and then you're going to see a third coming at the very in a very short while here. This one's called Censura Mio Flex, okay? We call it Flex because you can peel the layer off. It's got an adhesive layer like so. It's one of the lowest profile, most flexible products in a two-piece system, okay? You can see that the adhesive is there and it's got a little blue tab there. And you can see, looking at the barrier, that you've got a very flexible flange. And this is the landing pad, as we call it. And it has a little turquoise circle around there, which helps to place it on, okay, to target it, okay? You don't have to be perfect when you target this system. I have a lot of people that are blind that use this system, because all they got to do is, when they have the barrier on, they can touch the bottom of the flange with it with their finger, and they can go down and they can feel that, and they can actually just roll it up, which is really nice, okay? I'm not really too concerned about it. If I have it on, I'm just going to go like this, put it on. And it's got like a floating flange around, so you can slide your fingers around here, okay, to put it on. You may think, is this system very secure? Doesn't matter if you're going to be using the Flex or the one I'm going to show you in a second, the Click. You're talking 22 pounds until it's even going to get tested, okay? So it doesn't come off at 22 pounds. We've tested at 22. It's still on at that. That is one of the strongest systems out in the market, okay? Most are around the 4.5, 5 pounds from my understanding. This is over 22 pounds. So I want you to give this a pull. I just want to show you, you grab the flange. There you go. So hopefully you're not going to have, someone hanging from your ostomy appliance, but you could have 22 pounds hanging from you if you really wanted to, okay? So I just want you to know that. But to take it off, all you do is you go like that. You've got the little tab there. I'm just going to pass this around so you guys can actually can see it, okay? All right. The whole idea is body fit technology, okay, with that. The other system in the market right now is called the Sensura Meal Click system, okay? And Sensura Meal Click, once again, that system comes in non-convex, convex light, okay? This one here comes in non-convex, convex light, and a deep, deep convex. The deep convex is very, very deep. It's one of the deepest in the market. It's more in line with a product called Marlin. We don't do a lot of Marlin in the province here, but Marlin is used more out west in the Vancouver area, okay? But I wanted you guys just to know that. And this is called the Click. So Sensura Meal Click, Sensura Meal Flex, okay? Why do we call it Click? You can kind of hear it. I'll be quiet here for a second, but just listen to this. Guys hear that? And then, of course, you have the swiveling bezel, which you can, with left hand or right hand, you can move it around to click it. I'll show you in a second, but you'll hear a little click too, okay? Really secure because you heard the snap on there and you heard the click. So you know that you're ready to go out and do your water skiing and your mountain climbing now, okay? And then if you want to open it, you press your fingernail, your thing in there, you'll hear that, okay? To take it off, all you're going to do is you're going to take this little thing, you're going to pull up and out very, very slowly and controlled, like this, okay? Little tab right there you're going to see, okay? A little tab for pulling on. You can see the bezel is 360, just keeps moving around. So you can do it there, or you can do it over here, all right? This is a closed pouch. I just wanted you to see that, but it has a window on it as well, okay? What's beautiful about the Sensura Meal product, before I get into the Concave, which you're going to find a little more about, is the neutral grade textile is basically a waterproof product, okay? It's a natural textile. It's not a synthetic material. It's like a fabric. And if you run it under the tap, we went over there and I ran it under the tap, it would just look like that. So you can go in the shower with it, go in the pool, it's going to come out, it's going to look like basically like that. If it does take on a little bit of water, it's going to dry really quickly, okay? When you look at, if you've all seen ostomy appliances out there, people refer to this one as the Cadillac. They say it's like a step up from anything I've ever seen. It looks expensive, but it's not. It all fits the ADL benchmark, which is where most people in the province of Alberta, they go through that for their ostomy appliances. We're also lucky here to have an ET here, Pat Dahlbeck. She's sitting down there. I just thought I'd introduce her. She does lots in ostomy too, but she's also a ton in continence. So she's what you call an NSWAC now, which is a nurse specializing in wound ostomy care. Used to be called ET, now we call it an NSWAC, okay? For those that you're familiar with that. I'm gonna pass this around, let you guys play with it a little bit. To put it on, there is a little technique to do it. Patients will get familiar after they've done it a few times. But all you do is, I don't have it attached to my body, so it's a little bit harder, but I can easily do it. All you do is, you put it on, you hook it on the bottom of here. You can use the table like this too if you guys want. And all you can do is, you can just hold it down with your hands, hook it on like so, and you can slide your fingers around if you want like that. You can hear that. I personally just prefer to do it like this. I hook it on the bottom and I take my fingers, always take your 2 fingers and you slide like Tupperware from 6 o'clock to 12 o'clock. And you don't push. This is not going to get it to go on. That is the biggest mistake people make, is pushing, okay? You go like this, you slide your fingers nice and slowly, let the coupling system do its work, okay? I can feel it. There it is, okay? My fingers are only there. I'll do it one more time to show you. I'll hook it on there. And I want you to see. Slide your fingers all the way up. Let it do its work, okay? You're gonna feel it going, and then over top it snaps over, okay? One more time, let's do this again, just so you know. Gonna slide my fingers all the way around. I can already feel it. There, see? The key is not to rush it and go like this, okay? So play with it a little bit. Doesn't take a lot of pressure. I just want you guys to become a little bit familiar with the flex and the click. And then off to the races. Yes? Sure, absolutely. I can do that. Yep. Can you hear me? Okay. Thanks. Oh, that's right. We don't want to leave everyone out, Brian. Good point.
Okay.
Yep. So let's pass that around and get everyone to have a chance at it. Okay. Ask me any questions. Like I say, if you're having any issues with it or after, we can come up and we can talk a little bit about that. Okay. Okay. So those products that you see in the market right now, I think I'm okay if can everyone see that? Am I in the way here at all or not? No? Okay. The products we have in the market right now are for, if I can get this to, there we go. The products we have in the market right now are for two types of body shapes, okay? Bodies are different, right? We all know bodies are different. They're not all the same, right? There's three different distinct body profiles. There's two that right now we're dealing with that I showed you products for, okay? That's for the regular and the inward body profiles, okay? And if you take, let's say, a little poll of 100 people, about 53% are regular, 13% are inward. Now, if you look, it's hard to see here, but inward have a little like a kind of around the peristoma area, it kind of has it kind of dips in there a little bit. So that's more of an inward body profile, okay? Outward body profile, 34% now of the people out there that have an ostomy are fitting into this area. Why? The BMIs, the body mass indexes, aren't getting smaller, they're getting larger. People with hernias, people with outward body profiles. What are we able to do for them? Up until now, we've only had inward and regular, and we had to try and make the products fit the outward body profiles. Pretty hard to make a flat appliance, a convex appliance fit that, isn't it? I think you guys have all seen a couple outward body profiles in your days, right? Well, now, you guys, we have a product that we can actually fit for that, okay? You only have two appliances, like I said, all right? And here's a little better picture of showing the flat appliances that are designed to cover the needs of the regular profile and the convex appliances that are specifically designed to deal with the challenges of the inward body profile, okay? As I was saying, why don't we have appliance for the outward body areas too? Well, we do have one. And we know that the curves, like you say, it's very complicated to fit those patients, they're at least as challenged, okay, as the inward and the regulars, all right? They are. They're just as challenged. So we're going to introduce to you today, a curve fit for the curved areas, okay? And it's called Censura Mio Concave, or in brackets, flip convexity, okay? Why do we call it flip convexity? Because you're going to flip it to apply it, okay? This is going to be flipped to be able to go around that outward body profile. Do you guys all see that? I'm going to pass that around, see a little bit later on so you guys can feel and touch it, all right? The first appliance right now, there's nothing like it in the market designed for the outward body profiles. This is what it looks like. It looks a little bit like a star shape, or like you say, a rose petal, okay? The whole design is to wrap around that outward body profile. Because if you try to take here's a good example. If you try to wrap a cylinder, or you try to wrap a ball with a piece of paper, you put it over top, what happens? What happens to that piece of paper? You have creases and channels in it, don't you? And of course, what's bad about creases and channels with an ostomy patient? More chance for leakage, isn't it? Not good. That's not what you want, right? So there's three challenges, although, that come with this. The first one I just talked about. It's the number one challenge is, and no specific order, by the way, all three are very important, but flat surfaces don't fit around a curved one without creases and folds, just like I said, putting the paper around a ball, all right? You get channels here, like so, okay? And you don't really want to be cutting the flange around the circle, like around the peristoma area to be able to get to fit. But that's what we were doing in the past. We were just making little snips around it. And it's not the most effective because you have spacing, and of course the adhesive now has got areas where it's got breaks, right? Before the next piece starts. So solution number one for that, that's the problem. The solution was a curved star-shaped base plate, like I was saying, which fits snugly and securely, over the bulges, the hernias, and the curves, okay? And this is to prevent that creasing and folding, okay? I'm just gonna pass it around for you guys so you can see it. I think what I'll do is I'll also peel off the layer, okay? But maybe if I give it too soon, you guys may feel it and all that and touch it. So maybe I'll wait a little bit for maybe a couple more slides yet, just to be a little more, so we can be more focused. Challenge number two, I'll pass that around, then I'll pass it around a second one. There you go. Feel free to pass that around. Challenge number two is the stoma changes shape, movement, and the area immediately around it can retract or extend. That's the one big challenge you'll see when you have a hernia, is that the stoma can do a lot of different modifications as it's moving. Okay, so you're going to see on the right, as you change, it may retract. As you stand up or something like that, it may kind of come out. So laying down, it could go back in. Standing up, it could go out a bit more. If you twist and turn, it'll move more. The stoma will move more. Okay, that's the other thing. So activity will cause that as well, any type of activity. So what are we going to do for that? How are we going to control the area around here? All that area around here. Well, we have to do it with a built-in stability ring, okay? And what do I mean by that? If you don't have, you can see it with this particular one I'm going to pass around. The built-in stability ring, okay, is designed to provide that stable area around the peristoma area. Otherwise, it'll collapse and it'll kind of cave in, all right? So you've got to have some structure and form around there. Otherwise, it'll just fold and crinkle up, okay? So that stability ring really helps with that, okay?
And it doesn't cause increased pressure because of the...
Yeah, that's a great question, Pat. The biggest concern we are about trying to pouch a hernia is the pressure that it can exert. Is that me? Can you still hear me? It's okay, isn't it? Okay, if not, we can turn it off. I can still talk loud if I have to. I'm going to turn it off there. Okay, I'm going to keep talking, if that's okay, if everyone can hear me. So Pat asked a question about, obviously, that the stability ring exerting more pressure than what the current systems are, and the answer is no. It actually alleviates that, but it still provides it. It's a soft stability ring, as you'll see, but it does what it's supposed to do. And that's a big concern because the more pressure you put around there, you can get a really bad pressure. Right? Oh, I turn this off just. Should be good. You're going to see when I pass this flange around now, you're going to see the fit zones both on the edge, which they stretch a bit like that, okay? You're also going to see the fit zones, the inner fit zones right here, which are kind of ribbed, okay? That solves those issues on challenge number 3, okay? It's an elastic body fit technology system which follows the body movements, and it's obviously made by a special type of polymer. I'll never get the full description or ingredients. They'll never tell me the Colonel Sander, I think, ingredient on it, but obviously we can find out the general what goes into it, but definitely technologically innovative that way. All right. Can you guys see how flexible that is? Like, you know, when you do it, okay? To demonstrate body fit technology, now that you've had a chance to play a little bit with that, I want you to actually go like this, and you guys can't cheat. I want you to take 2 fingers like this, okay, only these 2 fingers, and I want you to go like this and like this, okay? Long way, because you'll actually find it's even harder than it is the other way. I want you to make sure you have it the long way so that you can even exert more pressure. And I want you to go like this, okay? Just squeeze them both at the same time in your hands, okay, like I am. And then I want you guys to do this as well to it and push on it, okay? Everybody has to do that or else they have to stay here until the end of the day. Okay? And I want you guys to tell me what your thoughts are after we're done with that. I'm going to ask some people to make some of their feedback and comments on it. Has to be, you're doing it, you got to make sure that whenever you're doing it, has to be like that and like this. And you want them to squeeze in, okay, like this. So you want to force it that way, okay? Because that's when people bend, that's what they're also going to do too. And it lets you feel it, okay? So built-in stability ring, inner and outer fit zones, that's going to allow for fitting these outward body profiles that 35% of the people are suffering with right now. And this is what it looks like when it goes on, okay? You can see the built-in stability ring. You can see the inner fit zones around there, the rib part. And you guys can see these, can't you? The outer fit zones, okay? To apply this flange onto the body, you will start with, so you obviously flip it, you'll peel it off, and then you just roll it on. Okay, that's what you do. And you're gonna notice that when you do it, although, you put it on your thing, you wanna start here, and you wanna push out to the pedals. So start at, I guess you could say the curve portion, you know, where it goes in. Start there, and then you move your fingers out like so, okay? Like that, like that, like that, okay? Can people see that, what I'm talking about? Yeah? Start in the inward part and just move out. It's still gonna work if you don't, but I'm gonna pass around the one piece so you can see the actual stability ring, okay? And see the fit zones. It's easy to apply. You just flip it and fit it, okay? So you can see here, you peel it off, you move over, and you just roll it on like that, okay? Just roll like that. Some people prefer to take it off, to flip it, take it off, and then apply it too, okay? There's a couple ways to do it, but.
So Tyler, you've got your paper backing.
Yep, your stabilizing layer, yep.
So I take that off and then I turn it over?
Yep. Let me show you here, just to be sure.
Like where I.
Take, somebody have the, you know what?
So I just take it off and then what I apply it directly.
You take it off like so, like this, and then it's gonna go like this. Because once you take the stabilizing layer off, it's gonna roll like, it's gonna go like that, okay? Some people do still, I know that some of them have flipped it, taken it off, and have done that too, okay? But that's the way they're showing it here, but there are some of the nurses that have done it that way too, where they're taken off. I think really the best way to do it is the way they show it here, okay? That being said, it'd be interesting to see your feedback. I mean, what you guys think when you have a chance to use it, if you do have a chance. I'll give you my business card at the very end. You guys can give me a call if you have any questions, or you have anything that you would like to ask me, okay? I'm gonna pass around at the very end. Before you guys go, please don't go without taking one of these. I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about the, for a couple of minutes here. We've got a little bit of time left yet here, don't we? Couple hours? Oh, that's great, a couple hours. I'm gonna talk about the Coloplast Care program now. It's the patient support program that works with nurses like yourselves to help patients when they leave either the hospital or they come into the home care office, or they go home, like right, you see them in their house. It's an excellent program. It's going to be also, it's going to help you guys out a lot too, make you look like superstars. And you got to like that, right? I mean, helping our patients out and making everybody look great, and that's really what it's all about. It's all about the patient, right? So if we can make their life different and make the difference, and let them do what they want to do and live the life they want to live, that's what this is all about, right? Any questions so far on what you've seen, like in terms of the Censure Mio Concave? There's 7 different variations or SKUs. There's the 1-piece and there's the 2-piece, okay? It's hard to see, you can't see the flange, but the 1-piece comes in 3 different types of sizes, okay? 2-piece has a yellow size, which is the last one here. It's a much bigger flange, okay? But they come in 1-piece urostomy, they come in 1-piece drainable for ileostomies, they come in 1-piece closed, okay? And of course, you have obviously your 2-pieces as well that come into play, 1-piece and 2-piece and drainables and all that, okay? And 2-piece urostomies as well. So there's a good assortment of product and closed as well for colostomies. So if you have a patient who, let's say, is a colostomy and they have a hernia or an upper body profile, you can fit them as well, okay? So there's over 52 SKUs, just to put it mildly. There's a lot of product variants to be able to fit what you need to fit. Any questions so far? Yep.
Does the system eliminate the need for paste?
Good question. So that's what I was going to get to next before you asked it already. Less is more, obviously, with Censure Mio Concave now. Flip convexity, we call it, okay? You can use less, probably, accessories, as you would say, like your rings or your pastes. So it's definitely worthwhile trialing it without first, okay? And then you can incorporate into if you need. But yes, I mean, once again, it depends on the body shape you have, right? Because you can have what you call a sunken in area around, you can have a hernia, but you can have a sunken in area around there. So in that case, you may still need a little bit of convexity too in there, okay? So a ring might help with that, which is, you know, like paste, okay? But most people are using rings now instead of pastes, okay? So just, you might want to try a ring. Whether you try a thicker ring or a thinner ring, there's thick and thin rings now, okay? There's 2.5 millimeter and 4.5 we make. That's about what most companies, I think, I can't comment on the other companies, but I think they're similar to that. What I like about one of the accessories, the Brava protective ring, which we have now, which is used more than the paste, is that the ring doesn't leave residue anymore. It's highly durable, highly moldable, but it doesn't leave a lot of residue. And it does absorb moisture and it does swell, but it doesn't swell too much. And that's the properties in a ring that you want. Almost every ring on the market right now is leaving residue when you take it off. And that's something you want to try and avoid, because people try to remove that with other types of solutions, like a adhesive remover wipe, or they sit there and they rub on it and they actually break and cause some cracks in the skin as well. That can happen too sometimes. So, you know, it's just best, you know, not to have residue left. You know, just have, you know, use a really good product that doesn't do that. That's great. The one thing to keep in mind about Censure Mio Concave is it works the best when you've got a stoma that is either protruding or flush. If it's a recessed stoma, that's more of a challenge. That's where you're going to run into a little bit more difficulty. So I would try and, you know, to get your success the best possible way, try to use it on the flush or the protruding stoma. Okay, we do have ETs that have evaluated and trialed it on stomas that are recessed, and they've gotten good outcomes. But you know, they're quite skilled in what they do, and they may be incorporating some other things into the picture there. Okay, so like I say, you can always feel free to reach out to one of your home care ETs if you have some questions. But it's just good to know that you know, that's the kind of features of where you want to place the product. Okay, is on a flush or protruding stoma. Okay, any other questions? Yep, go ahead.
Follow up to the casing question. Somebody does end up using case or a barrier.
Yeah.
Will it still, if somebody's using different branded products,
yeah,
will it still amalgamate?
Yeah, our products are used with other manufacturers like Hollister. I have clients using that, and vice versa. I can speak that our stuff does work with Hollister. I mean, if it does. But think about it. If you've seen, by the way, have you guys started, for those of you that have done the squeezing on that, what do you think? Do you see the body technology, the flexibility? Do you see a difference between what kind of was or is and then kind of what the new science is? Isn't that amazing? I know. And you can imagine, like, you can move, twist, and bend, and the appliance moves and does that. It moves with you and bends, right? So that's really exciting. And you guys have a chance to do it? What your thoughts were on that? Could you feel the difference? Could you feel the difference? You could. Yeah, you said, oh yeah, yeah. Have you tried it yet? Could you feel the difference? Brian, could you feel the difference? Okay. You guys are over there feeling the difference. Everyone's feeling the difference. So it's exciting. Yeah.
They're out now, right? Yeah.
So was that? So here, and thank you for asking that question. The next thing is, so where does this fit under the ADL umbrella? Okay, it fits under. Remember, I said Sensura Mio Concave Flip Convexity. It's a flip. It's a convex flip convex. So it's going under convex. So if you're taking a regular, let's say you take a convex. Let's look at a one piece here. Here we go here. One piece Sensura, sorry, convex light, one piece. Sensura Mio Concave goes under Sensura Mio one piece convex, all under convex. If you have a two-piece system, convex light, you put this under convex light. Real simple. Goes under convex light. Okay? Yeah. And the vendors, yeah, like more and more, obviously. I mean, they can get the product almost the next day now because most vendors like Healthcare Solutions use reputable distributors that can deliver very quickly, right, Brian? They can get it pretty quick. Am I correct on that? Maybe you can even share a few points on that after, but I know that it can come almost next day or whatever else if it's ordered early enough the day before. So, and you know, some of our distributors, we have a warehouse in Calgary, so it can come pretty fast. Like the next day is pretty fast, if they don't already have it.
Well, because we have to store, our objective is to stock it.
That's right. That's right. And stores like Brian, you know, the beautiful part about that is that they carry such a broad, you know, spectrum of products to be able to cover that, whether it's ostomy or continence. So feel free to, you know, to ask him afterwards. Any other questions? I'm glad you brought up the thing about ADL and about the paste, you know, and the accessories that can be used with it. The answer is yes. Does meet the benchmark too, pretty much. It might even be a little bit below, so it's good. Does come in pre-cuts as well. Okay. Any other questions so far? I'm going to go into something else now, if you guys just to spend a bit of time, maybe 15. Do I have 15 minutes or so? Do we have 15? This is something I think that you and your patients will really find valuable. I know the ETs like using this program. Some really find it really valuable for their ostomy clients. Yes?
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
One of the courses that we teach, a question had come up with the adapt case is just 24 hours. Is this a wound site like a deep wound triad?
I don't. And you bring up a good question in that. Can't answer that one. We can maybe look and find out an answer to it if there is. But once again, you're using, triad within. There might be an answer for that. We would look into it.
It'd be great because people confuse. A paste is not an adhesive. It's just a caulking agent. It's not a dressing.
That's right.
And we kind of go with the adage that don't use an accessory unless you really need it.
Less is more. That's right. Absolutely.
I can't figure out how to open this. Do you mind showing it on this end of the table? Sorry.
Absolutely. Real simple. Let's do that.
I don't know how the people with dexterity issues or vision issues do this. But.
Yeah. So it's on right now. Okay. We want to take it off. So, and once again, it's easier when you're in front of somebody versus, 7, 8, 10 steps away. You take it, you lift up and out. Simple. So I want you to try that right now. So here it is. Put it against your body.
Okay.
Hold on to it.
Okay.
Take it and just lift it up.
Okay.
There you
so
go.
Once it's snapped open, it's just a matter of.
That's right. So, and you can see somebody might have taken the ring off here. Oh my gosh, it's not broken. Don't worry about it. Okay. I'm just going to put it on. They put it the wrong way. The actual, I wouldn't want to call it, the click system should be facing the turquoise. Click system should be facing you. It doesn't, in this case, look like it was. Sorry, I'm just going to get this on here. It's not broken. There we go. The turquoise button is facing this way, okay? Because if you push it, it's not going to hit it, okay? Facing the client, that's right. And you'll hear that sound, okay? To open it up, you just push your finger inside it like that, okay? Does that help? And then putting it on, once again, 6 o'clock to 12 o'clock, slowly. I'm going fast here, but just go nice and slow. If you can also, like I said, left or right hand, you can close it any part of wherever you want, wherever it's comfortable, okay? To take, great question. You have great questions. I love Censura Mio because even though it's classified as regular wear under ADL, my engineer did say when we were speaking to him, it's got a little bit of, it's got the best of both worlds. It's got the regular wear, but it's got a little bit of extended wear in there too. So it gives really good wear time. It's designed to give really good wear time for a regular wear coated flange. Okay? Does that answer your question? Not quite. Okay.
How many days? Yeah. 3 to 4 days. Or pushing more
3 to 5 days. Extended wear 5 to 7 days, kind of ish. And once again, that's a benchmark, kind of number. It can change a bit as far as, but that's generally speaking, the 3 to 5 days for regular wear. That's what if you look at the ADL quantities, it's going to match that. Extended wear 5 to 7. I see almost all of the barriers used in our line anyway are regular wear because they get more quantities and the wear time holds up to 3 to 5 days, generally speaking.
I just have some clients that are very frugal.
Yes.
And will use their appliance for up to 3 weeks.
How's the skin? Is it good?
Yeah, he says it's good.
Yeah. I have, whenever I do an ostomy day, I get clients coming in, sometimes from out of town using duct tape, and the skin is pretty fried because they're ripping it off. And they wash out their pouches and put them back on with adhesive around there. And some people, there's the odd one that like it works well, but then you're seeing redness around there. About 70% of all people have redness around there that shouldn't be there. That tells you something. That tells you either they don't have the right fit or they're wearing the appliance too long potentially. So those are some of the possibilities. And they say they get great wear time, but is that truly the case? They should probably be changing it around that 3 to 5. They are frugal, I understand that, but you want to prevent the skin from that redness or that. If there isn't that, that's fine. Then I mean it's working. I have one gentleman who one of my ETs has shared with me that he uses a one piece closed, supposed to be changed every day or twice a day whenever a bowel movement, and he washes it out and puts it back on with the adhesive. I don't know how he doesn't get the adhesive wet, but the Centura Mio is so moldable that, but she says, you have a little bit of redness. She goes, you shouldn't be doing that probably, but he doesn't always listen to her. so hopefully he'll start. Yeah. Any questions before I talk about Coloplast Care, the patient support program? That's.
My question
Yes.
is that with this program, is this the one that they are able to source and get the curved edge scissors?
Yes,
The
absolutely,
okay.
it is. So part of the care program, I'm going to go into it right now too and talk a little bit about it, and feel free to jump in if you have any questions. I like those questions, and I like you sharing that with the group. Yes, the Coloplast Care program we have curved scissors if available upon request. We don't give them out to every client because lots of people they have pre-cuts, they don't need scissors. Scissors are very expensive, they're free. The Coloplast Care is a free program. It was designed as part of a value add to, even like we talk about Alberta Health Services, to be able to, whenever you do contracts and all that kind of stuff, and you want to help your patients, you have to have value adds too. But really, Coloplast Care is a program that goes so much more than just value add. Okay, and I'm going to share that with you today. But it really does add a lot of value to institutions like Alberta Health Services. So I should just maybe talk a little bit about this particular gentleman here. He is a kite boarder, I think, and a snowboarder, as you can see. I think that picture might tell you that, could it be possibly somewhere around Vancouver? Yes, it is. Is he going to let his ostomy appliance hinder what he wants to do? Absolutely not. He's doing what he wants to do. He's living the life that he wants to live. That's the whole idea, is do what you want to do, right? Like, this shouldn't change what you want to do and what you want to eat as well. So what is the Coloplast Care program? Coloplast Care program is an all-around support program for both ostomy and continence patients. We're talking about ostomy today, but it can be used for continence patients too, for samples. That's one of the things that it does, but it does so much more than that, okay? As you can see, there's kind of four types of areas we want to kind of break down here. One is the website and emails that, and the articles, and that patients will be able to tap into. Reliable advice relevant to their situation, okay? So website and emails are great if they have access to that, okay? If they don't, they can give us a call. Phone support, a lot of people just call us. I'm going to give you these cards here. I'm going to let you actually I'll pass them around. You can take a couple of them, okay, if you want. Phone numbers on there. Christina is the rep for Alberta. I mean, the rest of the girls down head office can help as well, but she's my dedicated care advisor. So you will definitely have access to her, so phone support. But in between that, we have what you call My Continence Check and My Ostomy Check, okay? And the whole idea of this is it allows a patient to be able to go on, take a look at everything, and just really keep track of their bladder and ostomy issues through regular self-assessment. So they can do this 3 to 4 times a year just to see how they're doing. Has their body changed? Has something changed, right? Maybe what I need to do is have it looked at again. So it brings them back into the healthcare professional world to take a look at it if it's needed. But if they don't know something's wrong, they're going to continue to live with leakage or a less quality of life than they should, right? So if we can identify that sooner and bring it to the attention, they get back and see you guys and the ETs and the healthcare professionals, right? Product guidance, so access to product samples, free product, because who wants to lay money out for a product that's not right for them, okay? You want to make sure that what you're using is A, fits your budget, and also B, works for you. And this is where, Healthcare Solutions can come into play too, because they do use the program as well, and they can help. The samples have to go, you guys, to the patient's house. They can't go to your office, to your house. Reason being, that's the way it's designed. And unfortunately, we had some bad customers who were ordering up a lot of product and they were trying to sell it after. Okay, had a couple of dealers that were actually ordering it up through the system through different ways, and it wasn't good, right? So that's unfortunate. One person ruins it for everybody else, so. Oh, sorry. Also, most importantly, I want to get to the very bottom. You'll see here, Coloplast Canada also talks about reimbursement and coverage support, okay, so dealer support. So we will help work along with healthcare solutions to try, with the third-party insurance, okay? So we know third-party insurance is can be very convoluted, very complicated to navigate that. I know you guys may not be the professionals in that area, but we do have people that are third-party insurance underwriter trained, okay? So we've had people come and talk to them in terms of what do they require to be successful with their third-party providers. What are they looking for in terms of prescriptions? What do they want written down? All those kind of things, right? So that really helps and speeds up the process and makes it more successful. Also, the frustration level goes down for people, so that's a big thing. Alberta AIDS Daily Living likes this because they like to see that obviously patients are able to get success, like with the ADL program and the third party. It all fits together nicely, okay? So they like that. It helps with product wastage as well, right? If a product is tried and works well, then it's also an easier transition to the dealers like Brian, So the other thing about ostomies is you have a lot of, it's more than just samples. Samples is a small part of this program. It's the things like intimacy and traveling. We get a lot of questions on this about, okay, I'm traveling. Do you have a travel certificate? So when I go through the airport, I don't have to dig everything out in front of everybody. Yes, we do. You know what? I'm ready for the intimate part, with my partner. Any advice on product choices? A smaller pouch to deal with that? Absolutely, we can talk about that, okay? I have questions on, I'm traveling outside the country, like I'm in Europe. What if my product doesn't arrive? I'm going to Barcelona. Is there a place near my hotel? We get that question all the time. My bags didn't arrive. All I've got is what I've got here, and my bag isn't going to come for a week, or we don't even know where it is. Okay. I'm going to go through a lot of the things that people ask, and that the care program will also talk about. And this works really good with the dealers too. It really does. Ostomy patients seek a lot of they want reliable information, so they go out there and they try to seek it. And sometimes, it's not always that easy, right? I mean, patients get really distressed these days. The amount of time, and I'm referring to the first column here, time's a limiting factor when they're being trained because they're in the hospital only now for how many days? They're discharged a lot quicker now. And there's a lot going on when a client wakes up and they maybe didn't even know they're going to have an ostomy, and they look and they're like, what is this? A lot like that's what happens sometimes. Happened like that for my dad. He woke up and he had an ostomy. He was out of it for 2 days. The anesthetic, everything else. He was asking questions over and over again. So to try and train him, that's not going to work at that time, right? Obviously, in the home care area, we're maybe a little more fortunate, but they still can be faced with challenges. There's lots of things they're dealing with and reeling over. Patients can't recall the information they're told, as I was saying. They get confused, where to get further advice and guidance. Thank goodness we have you guys and we have the dealers to help with that. Offline information, that's another area of brochures, leaflets, we're referring to obviously are no longer patient's sole and preferred way. So they go on the internet and all that. They're looking all over the place for this information, offline, online, okay? And 8 out of 10 internet users, just want to take an example, search the internet for healthcare information. It's the third most popular kind of way now. The problem is where do they find this advice? Okay, it's like I said, we made a little comment there. Finding information online is like drinking water from a fire hydrant. It just, look out. I mean, and it's not always the right stuff. So that's why, talking to your dealers, talking to care advisors, DETs, that all kind of fits in really nicely, right? This just talks a little bit about, every hour 42 people come to find out info on coloplast.ca and 38 people request to try a sample each day, okay? Total visits, 1.2 million, 20% were global Coloplast visits, okay? The whole idea around this is it just shows you the amount of people that are accessing our care program worldwide. If I put a local on it, we have about 135,000 a year, about 60,000 each. That's a lot. We figured it out, it's about 10,000 patients per province that's what it came at. That's what the number was. If your province is about the size of Alberta or bigger, which is pretty significant. That's 20,000 patients, like between ostomy and continence. Males and females, you can see females maybe a little bit higher in terms of, contacting us, but still. But then again, a lot of the males aren't managing their own appliance. It's the wives that are doing it. I find that a lot in case if I walk in, they're helping, their caregiver, which, females are really good at doing ostomy, and men are asking their wives to help them. That's what my dad did, just until he kind of got more familiar with it. I'm not going to go too much into all this. This just talks about, the Facebook, all the different types of, online, posting, chats, likes and shares and all that kind of thing. But it really just tells you that we have a lot of sharing information going on, okay? And people can really, share a lot and get a lot out of it too. It really helps them in terms of, deal with what they're going through, right? And they can talk with people and that, and they can get linked, right? Care website. I just want to kind of focus on the last kind of slide on this. The benefits of the website. It's 24/7 access to information, tips, and tools. It's using the privacy of their own home, so they can access it in their house if they want. They can give us a call. Like I said, the card's there, our phone number's there. Give us a call. We'll help if, let's say, they're having leakage or something with a product. The ETs are obviously definitely there to get involved. The one thing that my customer care team knows, they know AEDL. So they know that when they go from a convex to a non-convex or non-convex to a convex, there's a paperwork switch involved in that, and that cannot be done by them. So they try to keep them within the same area if they want it, and try to solve it that way, but they will refer them back to the ETs if it's going from a non-convex to a convex, because that's clinical. So we don't do the clinical portion. We don't want to do that. We do the other part of it, okay? We leave the clinical to you guys and also to the, in this case would be the ETs, right? 76,000 OC visits per year. Well, I was a little off. Actually, it's gone from 66 to 76. So that was the old number. And there's a couple on those cards. They can request samples online. So let's say for instance, they are using they're in a one-piece concave. Okay, we can see that here. Maxi. You know what? I want a midi size. I don't want it to be so big. I want a smaller pouch. Same system, I just want it in a midi. They can call us and ask us, and we'll help them with that. Or intimacy, they want something a little smaller. That's where we come into play. Okay. They have questions and all that kind of stuff. Like I say, once they leave the hospital, they go home. They have a lot of things. Diet. They have questions on diet. How to get back into visiting with their friends. How do I do this when I'm out of the house? Can you help me? There's a lot of emotion to this, and we help with the emotional part of it as well. We'll sit there and we'll work with them and help them and try and listen to them. Sometimes nobody has anybody. It's just that one person who has nobody really to talk to, right? And they would really would enjoy if somebody would just be there for them, right? We'll try and help with that. I want to go through this a little bit. The website sections. You guys can access, you can take the card, you can go online, take a look at everything. There's also videos that show how to apply and all that, and instructions for use. So there's so much information there. But basic knowledge about the body, its various symptoms, etc. Okay, so people may want to look in terms of what is an ostomy? Like I had it one time, but what is it really? Lifestyle articles, inspiration, support. Those are great. Those are great to be able to have access to and all that. User stories, success stories, putting maybe in touch with somebody. I have several young girls that are really struggling with their ostomies. And Jessica is hooked up with Facebook. She has a lot of followers. She's a pretty model who has an ostomy. She wants people to know that she can wear a bathing suit, you can do all this. And she's out there showing everything. And people say, well, if she can do it, I can do it. And she's been an inspiration for so many of the young girls in Alberta. Some of my ETs have asked me for her contact or where do you find her? These are the things that it does, right? This is all is there for that, right? Different product solution presentation, so different products, you know, and how to get them, all right? Coloplast, who are we? What do we do? We actually invented ostomy. One of the nurses did it for her sisters. That's how it started. Way, way back. Nothing like it is today, of course, but I think Elise Sorensen would be very proud of the company now looking at it, you know, and where it's gone, right? So, you know, really exciting. She was the one that made the first appliance and worked with it. I don't think we really need to go through much of this slide. It just says 12 lifestyle educational emails. So it's a very interactive and program. If you click on something more, it's going to provide more information on that. Okay. So if you're like you're really into the intimacy, it'll focus on intimacy a little bit. It picks up on what they're surfing, right? It's very intuitive. Okay. It's the other thing that it does. It's a program for life. It's whatever they want it to be. Okay. So they can enroll and they can also unsubscribe at any time if they want to. But if they ask us to follow up with them every month or every once a year, we'll do what they ask. Okay. The other thing that this does is the ostomy check. It went a little bit ahead here, sorry. Ostomy check is self-assessment. This is a really nice way to be able to identify problems and then, okay, I have an issue here. I need to see somebody or need to do something about it, but I might not have known, at least if I wouldn't have done maybe the self-assessment tool, okay? So it enables patients to complete a routine check 4 times a year, so to keep track of the health of their stoma, helps identify if there's a concern relating to their stoma and to seek advice about it, okay? These are the 4 areas of stoma-specific issues that are really of a concern. Obviously, if these are going on, you may have an issue, right? So do you have any adhesion issues? So if it's not sticking, that's not a good thing, right? Do you have skin irritation issues? Once again, 70, 80% of people do. Why is that? We need to look at that more and find out, right? Need to maybe see a home care nurse, an ET nurse. Do you have any pouch issues? Do you have any coupling issues? Just these are the things that really people, you know, find of a concern, right? Well-being questions. How are you feeling right now? I feel terrible. I feel great. Okay. And you know what, based on that, you know, we'll also follow up and say, look, you know, we got your information, you know, it looks like you're struggling here, you know, can we help you? Yeah, you know, this is what's going on. Okay, well, based on what you're saying, you know what, I think you should, you know, maybe you might want to get back in to see your ET or your home care nurse. All right, so it's going to catch it before 5, 6 years down the line comes, you know, so I have so many people that come to Ostomy Days. Oh, so how long has your skin been red? Oh, well, this isn't that big of a deal. It's only been 5 years. You know, like 5 years, 5 years, and it looks like that. It's like that's not normal. Oh, I didn't know that. It's not good, right? So I kind of already, I think, summarized this up. But you know, the ostomy check allows people to deal with their issues and provides value to everybody involved in it. The dealer, the patient, the healthcare system, right? But from a clinician point of view, this might be value to you guys, quicker adoption of a treatment by increasing patient ownership of treatment decisions. So once again, you know what, they get involved a bit, right? Stronger compliance. If the more compliant they are, the better off things usually are, you know? Faster complication detection, which is great because then we can get them back to see you guys or get the issue solved. We'll try and do what we can on our end so we don't send them back to you guys if it's the non-clinical part, but there's a lot of things that they can be bugging home care about that not necessarily they need to be bothered with, right? Positive feeling of being on the right track when no issues are identified. So that's also important to know, like, look, are things going good? Like, how do I know, right? You know, looks like things are going good, right? And of course, on the right side there, it allows also people with issues an individual solution. So we can identify people with issues through ostomy check, we know that. We can offer an individual solution based on the situation because everybody's different, right? And the advice could be from diet or routines to accessory or change of a product, okay? And promoting the clinician as a source, to consult and be referred to if something is irregular, right? So that's important. And that's I'm just going to go down here and show you one more slide, and then we're. What are some of the things that people with ostomies want to know about and are important to them? Okay. Reimbursement for ostomy products, it ranks up quite high. You know what? So when you look at in terms of information supporting regarding life of an ostomy, what are they likely to research? Here it is. Okay. Socializing emotional support is still quite high. It really is. Okay. Intimacy, you know, it's there. Travel is big because, you know, I'm going to travel with this, right? So they really want a lot on that. The travel certificates, so they don't have to pull everything out the airport. Diet and nutrition is a big one. So because they're new to this, or even if they aren't new to it, how can they manage it better, right? More ballooning, maybe. Eating broccoli tends to be one thing that a lot of the ostomy patients try to stay away from. Okay. Sports and exercise, we get lots of questions on that because people want to be active, right? And ostomy routines, instructional videos, tons of those because they want to see how to apply it. They want to know they're doing it correctly, right? Reinforcing it, right? So these are all the things that help. That's pretty much it. We just want to empower your clients, the patients. We want to make sure that they have the tools and the resources and they have the support, and want to work with you guys. We want to work with the dealers as well, like healthcare. Any questions? What do you guys think of it? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
So I just want to confirm, our understanding was with all of the companies, including Coloplast,
yeah,
the two-piece systems, we don't mix manufacturers. So they're all manufacturer specific and the two-piece systems in terms of the phalanx and the long systems, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
And my understanding that other than Coloplast, which had a product that allows in their extended wear to use, I think it was case or I believe so, all of the other products, to my knowledge, for extended wear was, well, not contraindicated, but was not recommended because it reduced the wear time. But I believe Coloplast had a specific brand or version that we could use case or, you know, the areas.
The one thing that resonates when you're talking about an extended wear flange here, what are some of the things in the past that would affect the wear time? Is that what you're maybe asking? Some of the accessories that would affect the wear time of an extended wear flange, like you shouldn't do?
I think it's more the barrier. I think there was only one Coloplast that had allowed it with the functionality to use the specific barrier, because otherwise for extended wear, the wear times will decrease.
Yeah,
So
that's what you're.
You should travel on, let's say.
There you go. Yeah, yeah.
One, you're going to end up with less wear time. So
right. So here's what's changed on the accessory front. Okay. So the question is when you're using an extended wear flange, or let's just say even a regular wear, but mostly extended wear, when you start using skin barrier wipes, adhesive remover wipes, all these things, you have to be using products. Coloplast now makes adhesive remover and skin barrier wipes that can go under all flanges that we make. They don't affect the wear time. Whereas before, you may see when you're using an extended wear flange, if you used an adhesive remover or a skin barrier wipe, you could see that it may affect the wear time. Because when you put the flange down on top of, let's say, some brand out there, like, I don't want to pick a thing, but I know Cavalon's not an ostomy product, okay? So you have to use something that obviously when it goes on, it's going to say, I'm sticking to skin. But if you have a big, thick skin barrier white coating on there, it goes on, it says, what's going on here? And it falls off because it says, I don't recognize what's going on here, and it won't stick. But if you design a product that is to be used with it, now all the Coloplast products now, I'm sure other companies, maybe, I don't know if other companies have them, but our skin barrier wipes, our adhesive remover wipes, all can be used. Our skin barrier cream now can be used under also the barriers. It won't affect the wear time. One of our creams, Sween cream, was also used. It's a very good cream. It can be used under a barrier, but we now have a specific skin barrier cream. So let me pass a couple around. Now, when you're using this, you use a pea size, guys, no more than that, and you rub it in, give it about a minute or so. You won't even feel it. That's how good this is. It's such a nice product, okay? But this one example of using an accessory under the barrier you don't want to be affecting the wear time, and you don't want to be using it incorrectly. Okay, so once again, it's always instruction videos are important to be looked at and to read them. This is used. So the reason why you'd use this barrier cream is we don't live in a climate where we're near the ocean where the skin stays nice and moist and supple. If you live in Calgary, things are really dry there. Your skin gets very dry around the peristomal area. What happens when skin gets dry? It can crack. You can get fissures in it. When skin cracks, what happens? It'll weep. What happens when skin weeps? You put a flange on, what is going to happen? It's not going to stick as good or it won't stick at all. What happens then? You get more leakage. It's not sticking, it's not doing what it's supposed to do, and it becomes a spiral. So you want to make sure that the skin integrity is kept up too, but also, once again, less is more, right? I mean,
because the balance issue, right? If it's too moist, you're going to get maceration or denuded skin. So
using the right product, although it doesn't allow.
We want to keep it very dry as possible, pat dry,
but not where, and that's the biggest problem with peristomal area skin is it's over dry. A lot of times because they're not going to use a cream underneath it because it's not going to stick because there's much design for it. So they're going to err on the side of having it more drier.
Yeah, we also tend to run into a lot of peristomal moisture associated skin.
That's right. Yeah.
So that's why it's always fine.
And that protects the skin. Remember too, it's a barrier too. So it also protects it so that it allows the skin to go from that red, dry, irritated to the normal color it should.
Anything we should know about this? Is it like 24 hours? Do we need to wet it or just strip?
All you do is I'm gonna do it right now here just to tear it open. I'm gonna let I'm gonna put some on the back of your hand here.
Okay, so small amount.
So I put too much there, but you're gonna that'll be okay although. So you do this, see that? And I'm gonna rub it in.
Okay.
Got lots on here, way too much, of course. I said pea size, half a pea size.
Right.
But you're gonna see what happens after about a minute and a half if you would put less on.
Yeah, I shared with that.
Yep. So exactly, but you know what? You'll just gently rub it in. I'm just doing it and let it sit now for a little bit. It hasn't dried yet. When it totally dries, you're not going to feel anything. You're going to feel the skin is supple, but you're not going to feel a coating on there now. Okay. Touch it now. Keep what does it feel like now?
Oh yeah. What do you know about this product in terms of ADL, or is it? Because some of them are not covered.
This one is not. ADL does not cover a barrier cream right now. We'd have to ask the ostomy nurses to make the request for it. That's something we could look at in the future.
Okay.
But right now, no. There's no barrier creams covered. ADL covers for rings. They cover for deodorant. The other thing is why use a lubricating deodorant in a pouch? Okay, let's use it. Let's take a colostomy patient. Real pasty and thick, right? Goes into the pouch. Where does it stay? A lot of times. Pools all around here, right? Is that good? I mean, it's going to smell more. It's also going to maybe push this way and of course cause me more ballooning, more problems. You want the stool to go to the bottom of the pouch. So think of when you spray Pam into a frying pan, it'll just slide off, it'll go all the way down to the bottom of it. Just like your pouch. You put a couple drops in and you rub the pouch together, it coats it. So everything goes down to the bottom. You also have less problems, and you may have less filter issues too because everything's at the bottom of the pouch, not plug in the filter. That being said, what I really like about this Ensure Mio product, you now have a filter that reduces ballooning by 60, almost 70% now, because it's a pre-filter and there's your filter. So this can fill up with effluent, but it's not getting to this until day 4, day 6, day 8. It holds it away so that the filter is allowed to exchange the air and do it. When a filter becomes plugged, what's the problem? It doesn't deodorize, and it's going to balloon. Ballooning is a big problem for a lot of people because the filter's plugged. Smell is a big problem because the filter's plugged. A filter has to exchange so much gas for so much gas per minute, okay? However it works, okay? I'm an engineer, and that's the design of that. And of course, if this isn't working optimally, it's not going to do it. But the pre-filter allows that now. You can see it's a quite unique system, right? It's not perfect, but what's nice is you can pass it around, let people look at it. It certainly does a lot better job than in the past. Okay, Lubricating deodorant. Ours is a clear solution now. Smells more flowery. It's not a dark blue where you put into your RV tank and of course you'd stain everything. Or if you get it on your clothes, you're going to stain your clothes forever with that stuff. We do make an older one that is blue. Everyone uses a new one now because it's a 2-in-1, right? Yep. What's that? Sorry? Yes. Put a little filter on your pouch. Good question. So if you're in the shower and you want to make sure the filter doesn't, you can put the little, there's little stickers in the box. You can attach those to the, just lift up the window. You just put it right on top of there. And then when you're done your shower, take it off or swimming, okay? If you're getting pancaking in a pouch where it goes like this, because it's got more suction, the filter's not, put a sticker on there, it'll release, okay? So that can sometimes solve the issue of pancaking, just putting the sticker on and the pouch will pull apart a bit. Talked a little bit about lubricating deodorant, but that wasn't the focus. But I mean, when it comes to accessories, kind of just want to make sure that you're not using less is more. So rings are the most commonly used now. Paste is probably the least commonly used. Our paste now is not the gooey alcohol smell. It smells terrible. It's oily. Ours now is more of a putty. Okay, it's more solid. It also comes off easier, so you don't get the oil and that film. Okay, so that's the other thing. And it doesn't have, like say, no alcohol, means it doesn't dry the skin out as much. Okay. When it comes to rings, I just want to say, think of a ring like a gasket. Why do you put a gasket underneath a bolt? It's to provide, to give it more anchoring and more like to seal better, right? It's a gasket's a flat thing, it goes underneath the bolt. And so if there's any uneven areas, it's going to kind of fill it in and it's going to tighten and anchor it down. That's what a ring does. You put a ring on there, it's very similar to that. It's like a gasket, okay? You can fill in some of the uneven areas around there and also create convexity, okay? When you put a ring on a non-convex flange, it makes it more convex. If you put it on already a convex light, it'll make it even more convex, for that dish area around the stoma. Any questions? What do you think of the barrier cream, Pat? And what's your thoughts? You feel your hand, what it feels like?
I was saying, it feels really good, but there's no smell or anything to it.
Works well. It's designed specifically for ostomies. I would say a Cavalon wipe, sometimes I always have a problem with people that use Cavalon because it's not an ostomy product. So if I have a problem, I would say just maybe don't use it, right? Cavalon a lot of times works really good, but remember, try to use something that is for an ostomy because it was engineered and designed for an ostomy, right? So
sometimes the problem is not once the flange is removed, it's trying to get that because most sometimes really rip or are not very gentle themselves to take it off. So
you need to walk the flange off.
There's a little trick too, like if your flange is really stuck on that part, so you guys make that sprome, and the sprome has a surfactant in it that will help lift that off. So all you need
Thanks,
to do
Pat.
is
Thank you for sharing that.
bit, and then use your sprome and work with the sprome, and that surfactant will help lift. Same with if you've got like the ring or the paste or whatever. I mean, you take your fingernails and try to scrape it off. You can use your sprome, and that surfactant will help lift that off.
Our adhesive remover wipes and spray works really, really good. Hollister people like it, just FYI. But once again, our rings don't leave residue, so guess what? Or very, very little, if anything. They're not supposed to leave residue, so you don't have those issues. So the new protective rings are really moldable. They're really, really durable. They do swell, but they don't swell too much, because when a ring swells too much, it gets too wet and moist and it'll macerate the skin. Also, the other thing is when you talk about the residue left, it's just, you don't need that. You don't want that, okay? Better not to have it. Because people just more a chance of people going down, rubbing it and trying to remove it with something, scraping it, all kinds of stuff. Any other questions? Of course, we went more than into just concave, but I think that's okay, isn't it? Like, it's okay to talk about, some of the other things, I think. Do you guys learn a little bit about the, like you felt the body fit technology, right? I mean, things have really changed, haven't they, for ostomy? Yeah. I hope that, you know, it was valuable today. I hope you guys got something out of the hour-long session. And, you know, if you have any questions, feel free to take my card. You guys have the care cards now, so you can use that for you can use it for any ostomy appliance. You can use it for condom caps. You can use it for a leg bag, a night bag, just to get a try it. Brian can help out with that too, right? So, and his staff. So feel free to, you know, reach out to healthcare, and we can work together to get the solution for your patient. In my vehicle, I have more cards. I'd have to run down and get them, but I'd be more than happy to do that. I don't have a lot of cards left right now. Actually, I don't have any here. So I have lots in my vehicle right downstairs. So I can give you my card if you want. Just let me know, and I'll do that. Thanks for coming. By the way, any other questions before? Anybody else have any other questions?
I really wanted to see how this works because I haven't seen it before.
Yeah. 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 So.
It's really good for hernia.
Oh yeah.
That's our big.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the peristomal hernias. We didn't know what to do, so.
It is. And like, I mean, but even outward body profile, Pat, like, you know, obviously the hernias, but the outward body profile is something that we have to remember. Why are we using the old stuff, like practicing old kind of medicine, if you want to speak? Use what's designed for the outward body profile. Obviously, protruding or flush stoma, retracted, we have to know that if it's retracted, just to be, you know, that it may not work.
And
but
so when you reverse these,
yeah.
What does your stoma do? Will it pop out a bit more?
When you reverse them?
Well, you know how when you've got your hernia and you might have a retracted stoma because of the hernia.
That's right. That's absolutely.
So will that apply a little bit to bring that stoma back out more?
You can like a concave pushing it out. I would say not a lot. No, I mean,